The all-white Hamilton.
Oh, the all-white Hamilton. Jesus.
Would you like to name a genre of music?
Rap.
Oh.
Thank you, Amanda.
We are here with the lovely Amanda.
Fucking nuts.
Welcome to the club.
I know, welcome. For me, that's like she's won an Oscar.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's a big deal.
so you
It
get
is.
paid
to be
Yeah.
there.
So it's like it's for a lot of people.
I want to write a plane.
For the podcast listeners, watchers, we've been left unattended today. Producer Paul just decided to hit play, record
And fuck off.
is away to buy Blue Roll. So guys,
it's all very
glamorous.
What do we really think of producer Paul?
I know the man behind
Us.
I know. Nobody can see, but he is actually
He's
behind
there.
a wee bit.
And on occasion, he'll do a wee giggle.
I know. It's very good.
He's
when you
class.
get
We
producer
love you,
Paul
producer
to-
Paul.
It's very affirming.
When you
I feel
get him
like
to
when
laugh, you're like, yes, we were really funny there. Anyway, so we'll just kick it off then,
just
shall
start.
we? You'll cut all this bit out
I
because
will.
you'll be like,
I don't want to be
I
included in
know.
the podcast.
Exactly. Anyway, welcome to the Sad Girls Club. Have you been chucked? Patriarchy getting you down, cry behind your pal Amy's garage and ruin the New Year's party again? Well, you're in the perfect company. Welcome to the Sad Girls Club, where you are allowed to be sad about the big things and the small things. So let's kick it off this week. Oh, you're back. Oh, he forgot his keys. Just as I was on my ramble, Paul. Okay. Anyway, so to kick us off this week, you have me, your host, Hannah Elizabeth. Why do I always get my fucking name wrong?
Rewind. Do it again.
You have me, your host, Hannah Elizabeth Morton, and I am joined by
Emma McDougall. Hi, guys.
and
Hello, Hannah Sutherland.
you sound so sad about
You're like,
that.
I've had my flu jab today.
Yeah, you're
tired.
very sleepy.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
But we've missed you.
You're
You've been
welcome.
gone a wee
No, it's been a
while.
while.
Yeah, I've missed a few, so I thought, well, I better
Yeah,
show face.
you had either that or you were getting chucked out, so you had to
Being
come.
removed.
I know, exactly. And we have a lovely guest this evening.
Drum
We
roll.
are joined by amazing stand-up comedian.
Amanda Hursey.
Yay! Hi, Amanda. Welcome, Amanda. So, Amanda, you actually know us as well.
Yes.
So you, actually, I'll get to that bit in a minute. Fuck's sake, Hannah, come on.
Tell the listeners who she is.
No, this is the
Wonderful
amazing
woman.
stand-up Amanda Hursey. But first things first,
Important.
Amanda, I need to ask you. You're at the Sad Girls Club. What are you sad about this week?
What am I sad? See, I'm quite a jolly person.
You are.
Do you know what? My pal got married at the weekend.
And you fucking hate the guy, or
No, it's a beautiful wee family, but I'm sad to see her away. That's her gone now. She's fled. I feel like a mother. She's fled the nest. So it was happy tears. I saw a wee video this morning of their wedding. It was just a wee bit sad. So that's how I was upset. But it was happiness.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, 100%.
she's,
Happy sad.
She's
That's
gone.
pretty nice.
She's married now. That's her life over.
and you're just mourning her
I'm in
single
mourning
life.
for her. Like, that's that same guy forever.
Oh my God,
So-
maybe that's what I'm sad. I had a completely different thing that I was sad about. But one of my best friends, Amy, just got engaged.
Oh.
And I have never, I honestly, well, don't get me wrong, I had another pal that got engaged and I cried the same amount. But I was like happy, sad. Like literally, I was just like, oh my God. And he took her to New York and he proposed.
I thought that
and-
was incredible.
Like, honestly, I don't know how this boy pulled this off because my boyfriend would not have put all these things together. So she's a big Swiftie.
Right.
Are you a Swiftie?
Not really.
No,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Me
any of
neither,
this.
babes.
I'm very Eminem.
So but I went to the concert. Like I know I like the songs and all that, but
I like her songs. My niece loves her, so
Yeah.
I would go to a concert.
but my
100%.
pal Amy, like the level of Swiftie she is like big, big, big. So she there's a song called Cornelia Street, and it's where Taylor Swift lived in New York. So he surprised her with a trip to New York. They went, and don't get me wrong, like somebody ages ago when I found out about it was like, I think she's going to think she's getting proposed to, and I was like, oh no, like what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Like she's going to be sad when she comes. No,
Are you
fuck it.
fucking dead?
Fucking dead. But he took her to New York, and then was like, we'll go to Taylor Swift's house, right? And she was like, oh, okay, great.
Strange.
But that's
door.
what the Swifties
Tell
do.
mum we're going round for
I know.
tea.
And then we'll stand at our window.
Avon.
I don't think she even fucking lives there anymore, right? But it's like a tourist
No
spot
wonder.
now. And so he was like, we'll go. And she said they were having drinks and stuff and they were having such a good time. She was like, we can go another day. And he was like, no, we'll go after dinner. We'll go. And she was like, oh God, like he really wants to go. Like, so she said she had no clue. And she went and they got there and he dropped something and she picked it up and it was a Taylor Swift like friendship bracelet that they all wear to the concerts. It said, will you marry me on it?
Stop.
And she turned round and she said he was on one knee and he was shaking like a fucking leaf.
Oh, bless him.
And I was like, oh my God, like what did he say? She was like, don't know, blacked out. Like, I have no fucking clue. But yeah, so and then it was stuff like just seeing her mum share it and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Like, so that's what I was crying about.
That's an epic proposal. I mean, fair enough.
Like I'm like, well done.
He's
sir.
setting himself up for a photo. For the
The bar is your peak now, mate.
I know every anniversary she's going to be like,
So at the wedding, she'll be like, did you get Taylor Swift to come and sing? That's what I'd be like.
No, it'll be me in a Taylor Swift wig doing a really bad karaoke track. Yeah, Hannah, what you said about this week?
Well, my flu jab.
Yeah, that is a point.
Okay. I mean, I've not really been sad this week, to be honest. I've had a good week.
You're
but
this
I'm
close to getting chucked out, Hannah.
I'm sorry. It's not my fault. I'm just flourishing.
What do you do?
I know, but just every week she's like, actually, this week I'm fine. I'm like, come on, make with the sads.
But I do feel pretty rotten after.
Yeah,
I'm
feel a
not
bit
gonna lie.
gubbed.
Yeah, just so tired. And I honestly feel like I've just been wiped out. And I'm like, I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, full of life. I'm like, happy Monday. And now I'm like, I want to go to my bed. I'm so tired.
And we're recording 2 this evening.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Let's keep it upbeat.
Emma, what you said about?
I was also at a wedding at the weekend and it was my friend Freya. Hi, doll.
Number one,
Number one Sad Girls fan.
Oh,
She loves a mention on the podcast.
Oh no, but also for the fact that she, like, in the best way, she tagged us in like an Instagram story, and I was like, oh, like what is it? And it was her like crafting with us on in the back because we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Watch us on YouTube.
That was terrifying.
Watch us on YouTube. No, but it was us on YouTube in the background. She was like, oh, perfect Sunday crafting and watching like reruns of us.
Yeah.
Like, as if we were like friends on in the background.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Very cute. But I was like, oh, maybe Freya needs out more. But
No. We bring her comfort.
Oh, that's
And
good.
joy. But it was one of her best friends, Charlotte's wedding, and Charlotte was kind enough to invite me to the evening.
Lovely.
But I was in the bathroom and one of the
you in the
bridesmaids, I was in the bathroom, and one of the bridesmaids was in the bathroom as well, and she was like, I'm sorry if this sounds weird. She's like, but are you in a podcast? And I was like, oh my God, yes. I was like, I am.
Are you one of her 10 listeners?
Are you one of our 12 listeners? So I believe I asked for it. I think her name is Stephanie.
Okay.
So Stephanie, if you're listening, hi,
Hello,
babes.
Stephanie.
But yeah, I just had a wee moment of
Did
like,
you cry?
I was like, this is really fucking cool. My wee claim to fame.
Like, Mom, I've made it.
Mom, I made it. I'm not in the bathroom in a club.
I know,
It wasn't in a club. It was in Arta. Very beautiful venue
The
for a
wedding
wedding.
was in Arta.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
very beautiful
It's
venue for a
lovely
wedding.
inside. It's
This-
very nice.
My beef with Arta
Oh, dear.
is multiple. It's like 3-pronged is my beef with Arta. So I've been in once and it was nice. It was good. End of story, right? And then maybe it's
Why
only
is that beef?
2-pronged.
Prong number
One, I had a good time.
But I was like, the one time I was in, and then I got a job at Cafe Gandolfi, which is like upstairs
Oh,
because
right,
they're
okay.
downstairs.
Yeah.
And then we are on ground level, but like
Yeah.
upstairs from it, so they're underneath Gandolfi.
Uh-huh.
And don't get me wrong, yes, it's our fault, but we used to flood Arta like accidentally quite a lot. Like, as chef would leave a tap on and they would come up in the morning, you're in the fucking breakfast shift, and they'd be like, you've flooded us again. And we're like, oh, so sorry, I'm getting paid minimum wage here. I don't know what to do. And then the big one is that's where the big bad ex-boyfriend worked the door.
Oh.
So
But
Amanda,
that's not. They
not
didn't
Arta's.
know he was
no,
an
but
arsehole.
therefore it became like a whole thing. So then there was beef with Gandolfi and Arta, and we were like, eh, fuck it. Like anytime we walked past, anytime they were like, oh, you've flooded us again, we were like, have we? Well, maybe it's somehow his fault.
Maybe stop hiring fucking pain in the arse boys.
But that's, you saw the show, Amanda. So
Yes.
that's the boyfriend the ex-boyfriend that the show was sort of based on.
All right.
Was that we broke up, he cheated on me, secret girlfriend, all that sort of stuff, and then decided to get a job next to my work where he stood on the door as a bouncer.
Creepy bastard.
And then
Was it deliberate?
well, this is the thing, I don't know, because that was like,
You're like, yes.
that was like after like I blocked him on everything, so I think he sort of went like, no wait, I'm no done yet, but then never spoke to me, never made eye contact with me. And then I randomly, and don't get me wrong, I used to walk past them and be like, I'm so strong, and like go around the corner and like have a mental breakdown, be like, oh my God, why has he done this to me? And then, so I never said anything, but I couldn't stop anybody else from saying anything. So then I got an email from him because that was the only way he could get in contact with me, because I blocked him on everything.
I hope this email finds you well.
Kind regards. No, I got an email from him being like, hi, I'm actually going through quite a lot at the moment, so if you could get your friends to stop saying things about me like as they walk past. And I was like, you psychopath, like you have gotten a job next to...
What was your pal saying to him?
Oh fuck no, I think the now
I'd walk past and be like,
so
wank,
Just feedback? Or?
I think they were so I think like all the people that work there
Performance.
so I think
Curious.
so I thought it was like the staff going past and being like meh, like, or like saying something, or like being like arsehole and walking
I love
past, right?
just the thought of someone going, nah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like you never actually say anything, but you sort of go like, And then, but I then found out that like, I've sort of pieced it all together that like, so my sister went with a bunch of pals and she said she was fucking steaming, and she all of a sudden went, oh fuck, like I now need to get in here, blah, blah, blah.
And he's security?
He was on the door, but I think he sort of was such a shite bag that he's not going to stop her going in. So then I think they were in the whole time just being like filming, being like, arsehole, like, and then...
So the poor guy's got a point.
And then my pals...
We've made an entire career out of it. Like a show, a podcast.
No, there was a fucking
album.
I know there was
Poor
a
guys in
TikTok
therapy.
today that I saw, and I was like, oh my God, I need to do that one. That it's like, it's when it's like, usually people doing it about being like, oh, like the normal things I did when I first met my boyfriend, it's like nothing, we moved in after 1 week, like all this sort of stuff, intense things. And it's like, I want to do the normal things I did after getting cheated on. It's like nothing. I took it all to an extreme and I made a career out of it. I got a podcast. Like, and I'm in a very happy 6-year relationship, mortgage, cat, everything. Will I still go
With
on a
someone
bit?
else?
Yes, of course. Yes. I know. And then I took him
She
back.
never let it go.
We live in Arta.
I know, exactly. I know. Anyway, so
I'm over it.
I'm really over it,
Stop talking
actually.
about it.
But there's part of me that goes like, there's a real chance that he does not have a fucking clue that any of this has went on. But I've still got all these pals on like Instagram and stuff like that. So I'm going, unless they've just been boys and just not connected the dots, I'm like, there's a real chance he fucking knows about this, and I'm very happy about that.
You think he's a legend?
This
is about me.
I know my pal.
Try and claim the success.
My pal served him in. She works in Mango, and she said she clocked him a fucking mile off, and she with like a new girlfriend or whatever, and it's like been 7 years or something like that. But she was like doing that arsehole. Like she honestly was like doing that with her phone and filming him, so then sending it to me going, is this him?
The abuse continues.
Is this him? I think this is him. I don't deserves it. And then don't ever cheat on me. Like, but then she said like, so I think the girlfriend came over and was like trying to do this return. And my pal was like, oh, it was actually really complicated. So she was like, they were there for like 20 minutes. And she said that he sort of like looked up, clocked her instantly and was like, oh my God. And then like, she literally was like, I gave the best service to this girl, like on purpose, was like overly nice. Like, oh
Let
my
me
God.
tell you, killing with kindness is quite possibly the best like revenge method ever. Kill with kindness.
I was like, you maybe should have wrote on our like receipt like run,
Yeah.
or something like that, like being like run. This is like red flags.
Or put one in our drink.
We're like go. I know, but anyway, we are here with the lovely Amanda.
It's fucking nuts.
Welcome to the club.
I know, welcome. So Amanda, you have seen the show. You opened for the show. Where were we?
We were in the Harbour Arts Centre in Irvine.
I kept in my head. I was like Guruk or something. I don't know why.
It was next to water.
I know. I kept saying something with a G in my head. Anyway, But you opened for us.
Quite strange, wasn't it?
It was a very
odd.
bizarre situation.
Yeah.
I think when we first heard about it, we were like, this is not the norm. So basically
Yeah.
what happened...
No, we heard through you. Like,
Yeah. So what was the situation? So we had booked a show in the Harbour Arts Centre, and the people who were producing it were like,
And
you
your
had
support.
posted
And we
on
were like,
your
what?
Instagram.
No, they didn't tell us anything.
They didn't tell us anything.
On arrival.
posted-
only
Why, your
reason that-
support? And we were...
The only reason I was following you is because you did stuff for Glasgow Comedy Festival, right? So that's the only reason you were on my radar.
Thanks.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, I saw your show, I followed you, like all this sort of stuff. And then I randomly was just like flicking through stories, and you were doing that thing that comedians do where they go like, and I'm doing this gig and I'm doing this gig. And at the time the poster was just my face, and you had screenshotted the poster and been like, and in a weird one, I'm opening for this play. And I was like, you're fucking what?
And that's not the norm for
You're
a
like, no,
play.
you fucking are
You
not.
don't have a...
So I messaged you. Don't get me wrong, I was like, this 100% isn't, you've not went, hiya, can I open for this? And I know you're not lying and all this, but I just was like, hiya, good to know.
I was just like, what?
And then that was it, the guys who were running it, like, I got in touch being like, look, like, it's obviously fine, but it's a play. So I was like, we've never had an opening act.
A
We've never-
warm-up act or anything. It's...
I had never seen a play before.
I know, but
Yeah,
that's what I was literally about to say. So you must have been like, oh my God, what
I
the fuck
was
is
just
this?
like, gig's a fucking gig, I'll take your money.
Take money,
But I was
run.
like, all right.
But you came, and we were obviously backstage, and the audience were just like
It was
eating out the
wild.
palm of your hand. Like,
you.
they
It was a good
absolutely
gig.
loved you. It was just... And then it obviously got them up and vibing
yeah.
up, and...
Aye, and then you
That was
left
a funny
them with
gig,
us,
though.
and then
Thank
that was
goodness,
mental.
because when on my way there, I was like, right, this is a play, this might be like a theatre crowd, and I had never like seen a play before. And your play is probably the first play that I'd seen and still watched. Like,
And you thought it was
I
shite,
had
aye.
never. No, I thought it was really good. I recommended it to everybody. I had never been to like playing a pie a pint or anything.
Yeah.
It's just something that I would never. I've never. I'll need to try and get out more and see more stuff, but. And then on my way there, I was like, "Oh fuck, these lassies don't even really want me opening for them." Like,
No,
but
not
just
at
in
all.
like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is a play, and I'm like, I wonder what this is going to be like. And I'm like, right, I can't die here. This needs to go well. And then I was like, right, fuck it. There's nothing. I'm just going to address it as soon as I go out and go. Oh, it's quite weird being here for a play. You's on board. Let's get you behind.
And they
it."
did. They got so on board.
But it's probably
they
because
were
it's
all
your
fucking
female
steaming
audience.
as well. Like,
It was your audience that
Aye.
were behind yours, and I don't know. Thankfully, it went well because I was like, if this doesn't go well, then you need to go out and do it. And I've already committed myself. I'm like, I'm going to watch this, so I didn't want to sit in the audience after dying.
you're like, and I'll just sit
Then
here.
having 4 people like
Aye.
feel like there's that lassie that do a show. So
What was really
thankfully
weird about that
went well.
particular audience, though, is as you said, they were all steaming,
Aye.
which is
It'd
obviously
been a
great.
very sunny day in
It'd been a
Irvine.
really
So I
sunny
think
day.
It was like girls' night out, which is,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, our audience, and I think for a play is difficult because people do that thing of going like, I play, like, don't know if I like that, don't know if it'll be fun, blah, blah, blah. And then, honestly, it was
They
like...
treated it like Gogglebox.
They were
The
chatting
audience
amongst
were like
themselves.
chat to us during the show.
Aye, they
They're
were
like,
going-
that's you, Sandra.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I know hen.
We've
I
never
know.
had to like
But that's
stop
really good
full
though, because,
parts.
like what I've learned is like if you get heckles, sometimes it's not people only. Sometimes, well, hopefully, people aren't heckling out of badness. Sometimes they're heckling because they enjoy it and
They're enjoying it and they want to be a part of
they're
it.
trying to communicate with a pal and going, oh, do you mind this? So. I
Oh,
think it
that's
was just
all
an
of it, aye.
up for it crowd, and
it was
thank God.
Honestly, but I think that was it because we didn't really know how that was going to work. And then I think now, if we do it again, like we might do that of like be like, right, well, this is a space for women, and like
somebody,
let's get some women comedians like to
Yeah.
open and
Yeah.
like do. And it's because we're only like a one act play. You sort of go like, well, people are paying money, like. Should we do a bit more?
Yeah.
So it's like a really good thing that I've been like, hopefully if we do it again and all that sort of stuff, like that's what I've been playing
So I've
about
been a
with.
trailblazer.
Yeah, I know.
By mistake.
Happy
So I
accident.
messaged the guys and I was like, listen, I've been booked for this, but if you don't want, if this is a mistake, like it's fine. Like he's like, no, it's fine. And then you will, it's fine. And then I'm like, this isn't fine. Don't just do it anyway.
No, it was great.
No, and it worked out so
thankfully
well, and
went
we're glad that you That's why when the Hannah said you were coming on the podcast, I was like, yay!
I know.
So you're kind of like part of the team.
Oh,
I know,
thank you.
already.
It's
'cause
nice.
you were,
It's nice to be
I'm
part of the
happy
team.
that we were your first play.
yeah.
I know, no, it was really, I really enjoyed your play. I thought it was really well written. And I thought that, no, I genuinely thought it was like, I remember, I think it's good for like teenagers, I think, as well as like young women, anybody really, any woman. But I thought it would be good. I think it would be good to go in schools with it.
You've said that
honestly,
before, Hannah.
we've been playing about with that for ages, and it's stuff like, so obviously I work at Glasgow Comedy Festival, and Krista, who runs it, she's a real big supporter of us.
Hi, Krista.
I know she listens. But and it is that way that it's because I work there. Like, is it like a conflict of interest type thing? But she's like, no, see if it's
How
good.
is it?
I don't know. Just
What do you do there?
So I run all their social media and stuff like that. So it's not as if I'm booking.
so you
See,
do.
I think if I was like booking comedians and then like booking my own show, that would be like a bit awkward or whatever. But she was like, no, like, see if it's good, and that's it. And I think she's watched me because we did a Glasgow Comedy Festival 2 years ago, and that's how I sort of knew there was a job, was because I was trying to book the show.
Oh, right.
And then I was like, oh wait, I know how to do that, can I get into that, blah blah blah. And she literally watched me like just do it by myself, and I was like, I've got no money, I'm paying for my own posters, and we did it at Strathclyde Student Union, and we sold out two nights of like 160 seater.
That's amazing.
And
That was actually a really fun venue as well.
don't get me wrong, it was a pain in the arse, but it was good.
It was, yeah.
just a lot of like people in the uni, like the actual students didn't know we were on,
Yeah, right.
even though I was like every day being
But
like,
to sell that out twice, that's amazing.
It
I
was
liked
also
as well.
Paddy's weekend as well. So to
Yeah.
sell it
oh,
on Paddy's
yeah,
weekend.
mental.
Maybe the people who go there do go to plays, but like, especially if it's a new concept, you don't know what you're signing up
Yeah.
for. So
Aye.
to sell that out twice is amazing. So
Oh no,
aye, well done.
so like literally, and I think she just watched me do it, and she came and she watched like the sort of second half, like she snuck in. Of course, all I could see, she's like blonde, so of course, like I saw her walk in, I saw her sit down, I was watching her face the whole time as I was like saying lines. I was like, oh Jesus Christ! But she was like, see if it's good, like I'll champion that. And I think she like, it's one of those things like we're too funny for the theatre stuff, but it's too theatre for the stand-up world. And so we're sort of in this weird in-between.
How is it too funny for theatre? I don't understand.
I just like, so it's a lot of, and this is my opinion on like,
because I don't. This is
I
interesting
feel like
because
Creative Scotland, National Theatre, Oranmore, like, so I sort of wrote it to be like an Oranmore, like play a pie in a pint type thing. But it's almost, it's weird because it's like, at the time of writing it, whoever was running it, it was all very like for the OAPs that were coming in
Yeah.
to like
is that
watch
their
it.
audience?
Because it's like who's available on at 2:00 on a Tuesday. People who are
Unemployed.
yourself. So like anytime I was putting stuff in, it was a wee bit too sweary, or it was a wee bit too
Alright.
young, or like that sort of stuff. So it's like we
So
just
see, sorry. So
No?
see that program then, is that? Do you need to like get your work approved before you go in?
Yeah, so
or
you-
how does that work?
Supposed to be open call.
so it's like an open
Yeah.
call, but that's
So
maybe
anyone can
2,000
submit,
scripts.
But that's it's still extremely
And then is there
hard.
like a team of people who select what they want?
Yeah, it goes to like
Oh,
an
So it's-
audit almost.
Yeah, so it's like
I didn't know that.
It's an amazing thing that goes on, but that's
I've said for ages that I want to try and catch something.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's such a good thing. We've had friends. Our friend Maddie was done one. I think one of your friends is
Roisin.
Roisin's just had her.
I'm literally going to shout her out. She listens to this. Our show is on at the Oranmore, and it is called. Oh my god,
It's
I'm in the
like
wrong Instagram.
Something at the bus stop, is
It's-
it not? Some
It's
girls
like
at the
lesbian girls at the bus stop or something like that.
Does it sound like OAP audience?
This is it. So there's now a new person in who's like sort of, but it's
Lost girls at bus stops.
That's
yeah,
it.
Lost Girls at bus stops, and that is Roisin who's putting it on, and I,
also
think you should all
realised
go see it.
I went to uni with Roisin.
Did you?
So she was in the year below me, but I did know her quite well.
She's fantastic.
She's lovely. She's super, super nice.
I met her
yeah.
working at the Fringe, and she's like one of my favorite people. She's great, but she just sort of was like, yeah. So I mean, of course, like you're in like you're in like a marketing department, so like as much as you're working in theatre and stuff like that, not everybody's a writer or a creative or whatever. And she just sort of turned to me and she was like, oh, I don't really know how to feel about this. And I was like, what? And she was like, oh, my plays just got selected for a play a pie in a pint. And I was like, for me, that's like she's won an Oscar.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I think it's a big deal.
So you
It
get
is.
paid to be
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So it's like, it's for a lot of people,
I'll have to write a plane.
but it's like for some people, it's their first like paid commission to like
right.
as a writer. So that can
Right.
like kickstart your career if you want, because that's sometimes the hardest bit, is to get actual paid work
Right.
as like a playwright. But she was like, yeah, like I don't think anybody else really knows what it is to care about it. But I was like, I
I do,
care,
yeah.
and it's amazing. But yeah, but so that's sort of what it was written for. But then it didn't quite fit there, and then that I just started to go like, fuck it, I'll just put it on myself. And I've got $2,000 on a credit card to prove it that I am paying off. Because we did take it to the Fringe.
Right.
Did you go to the Fringe this year?
I done Best in Class. So that's basically a compilation show.
Right.
It supports working class comedians get to the Fringe, and it was me and 8 other acts throughout the rest of the UK. It was only Scottish one. So it was good fun. It was zero pressure because
Good.
it was like club comedy.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I had done the Glasgow Comedy Festival, and that was like a solo show, my first ever, and I really enjoyed it. But it's different writing an hour to like club. I suppose I would really like to get to the level where it's like an hour of bankers, an hour of jokes. But when you're doing an hour, you know, there needs to be, well, for me, what I've seen, I've watched a lot of good shows, and there needs to be like some sort of narrative, like what's the point, who's your audience, why are you doing this show? So that was a different development thing for me, but the Fringe was just club comedy, and I got a chance to like host it and open
amazing.
every night, so I feel a lot stronger as a comic, but it was just a good laugh. Like, we get paid for every gig, so the Fringe costs a fortune.
Yep.
And obviously,
Yes,
you
it
need
does.
You need to take your time off work and to like attend, and even just to develop a craft. Like, working class people are obviously at a disadvantage because if I had connections or if I had more money, you can, you know, I'll just stay off and write for a period of time, or
Or
I'll
go
go
and
out
see
and do
something
open
as well,
mics, or I'll go and do gigs. But you're obviously working full time, so it's a juggling act. So the Best in Class supports working class comedians, and they pay for everything. So they
That's
paid
incredible.
for-
I'd never heard of that
It's
before.
amazing. It was set up by a comedian called Shan Davis. She's coming to the Glasgow Comedy Festival. So I've got
perfect.
a lot of these people now coming to Glasgow, which is good.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I'm doing Glasgow.
I'm like, Krista, hire her.
So it was set up by Shan Davis, and she set it up because she got invited to a Fringe show in 2018. And they says, oh, you've been successful in this compilation show, but it's going to cost you a couple of grand to do the show. So she couldn't afford it. Our pal set up a GoFund page for her. And within like an hour of that GoFund page going live, she got a phone call saying, we don't want you in this gig anymore. You've lied about your finances. The Fringe isn't for you. So she got really upset and really pissed off. And then she decided to take her own show up, called it Best in Class. And then every year she invites 8 comics.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing. Like, they paid for the posters, they paid for the venue, they paid every single act. I walked out the Fringe with a decent bit of money.
Which no one else
does.
does.
No, but that's amazing.
Well done.
So I made a bit of money off the gigs, and then because I was part of Best in Class, it's kind of opened up gigs for me down south, which Scotland was a small
fantastic.
place. So like, I've managed to get some gigs out with Scotland and challenge myself, and then I was lucky enough to pick up some flyering gigs at the Fringe. So I made it. It was a good laugh. I really enjoyed the Fringe, whereas last year it was stressful. I had 3 shows. I done a compilation show with the prison guys. I had a show with Graham Mackey's like Santa Claus. I don't know if you know him.
I know Graham Mackey.
I love that guy to bits.
He did a lot of stuff at Blackfriars, did he not, for a while?
Aye,
He does look like Santa.
He's
Right.
it's such an unlikely friendship. He's like
Yeah.
67 or something. He's like an old guy.
Yeah.
He looks like Santa, and he's treated me with so much respect,
Oh,
and he's just a
lovely.
lovely guy. Anyway, so I done a split bill with him, and then I done another show. So last year was just stressful, plus I was working full time. So I was doing 40 hours a week, juggling
And
all
then
these
on
shows. I was absolutely exhausted, whereas this year, didn't have a job.
Yay.
So I quit my job, and I started
She's
another one in
unemployed.
October. I'm unemployed for the first time in my life.
Is that so that you can focus on your comedy?
No,
or
it's just because of the timings worked. I mean, I
Yeah.
would love to be at a stage where I could have the luxury to just focus on comedy full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would need to be, for me to do that, I would need to be headlining
Yeah.
across the UK. Like, I would need to be at, selling out theatres. That's the level, and maybe radio or something. 'Cause
Aye.
I've worked really hard. and I've got a decent job, a decent salary, and I don't think I could walk away for that unless I had some security.
Yeah.
But the best in class was just amazing, and I had such a great fringe. It was so relaxed, and I met loads of different people for different people I would never meet.
Yeah.
And it was a great giggle. I really enjoyed the fringe, and I made some cash.
That's always good. I'd like to say as well, you did just go, I did a show with the prison guys, right?
Oh,
I would like to specify that you...
me and all the prisoners.
Me and the prison guys did some shows.
Just brought them out.
So you did shows called Wholesome Prison Blues.
Yes, so basically I went round all the prisons in Scotland, because I'm half my nut. No, it started
There was a group
off,
of years as well.
It was good. So it was me and 5 acts. Was there 5? Aye. And so it was me and 5 guys, and basically we decided to take comedy around Scotland jails. And when I got asked to do it, I was like, oh no, this isn't for me. And then I took the gigs for the wrong reasons. I was going in there like a vigilante.
Like break them out?
I don't know. I'm kind of...
You really like that one there?
Like, justice is a lie.
Like, I don't know.
Dressed as a Batman.
I think the guys were good in like, oh, it's cool, we're gigging in front of all these prisoners, and
Yeah.
it's a good way to earn comedy shops. But I was like, oh, I felt quite wronged in my life, and I was like, if I can go in here and make these people laugh, or if I can, I don't know, I was getting in like a vigilante, no as a comic. And then I've got a show about it Alicarted last year. I might do it again, but that was
bigger tickets
that was
now.
a huge theme in the show. I don't know if I'll do it again. It was hard, but
to be the only woman in that group to go into male
Yeah.
prisons as well must be really hard.
I mean, I think I started off with the wrong reasons, but then it became really nice gigs. The prisons were brilliant. They were so supportive, and the guys I was working with were just really, really nice guys. I love them to bits. They really looked after me. I remember the first gig was Low Moss Prison, just beside...
Right, yeah.
I don't even know where Low Moss is. Springburn, kinda. Christ knows. We need to Google it. Anyway.
Love you next to me being like,
Allow me to do it.
I don't know where
Well,
it is.
I worked in a law firm. I sent letters out to Lomos.
But I went in there, and it was the first gig, and everybody was kind of excited but nervous. But obviously, you've got security guards, and also you're probably the most safest you'll ever be at any gig, because you've got security, you've got.
you don't have them in the stand with you.
If
Drunk and
anything
disorderly.
happens, you've got a group of people, and it was like for people who were well behaved. And I remember being so scared, and the guys were like, "You're all right, you just." And I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go first." So I just went
Just do
on
it.
first.
Aye.
Good for you guys.
And it was brilliant. Like, I got applause breaks and everything. It was a really great gig, but I had to leave it because I couldn't do it anymore, because a lot of the gigs were like during working hours, and I was missing out on other gigs because I was doing that, and then it just became... I wasn't learning anything at the end, and I think some of the comedic references weren't working. Like, when I went to a club, I was so used to playing to the jails, and you have to they don't know a lot of references, because like I've got a joke about Starbucks, for instance. Oh, I had to go to Starbucks to find out his name. Nobody knew that reference because nobody's been to Starbucks.
Depending on how long they've been in there. Like,
So I felt as though it was time to leave. I really enjoyed it, and I wish the guys all the best. But it was a good experience.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
I think getting into Ballini and doing comedy in there was, if I can do that and get a group of guys laughing, then getting into a club's, if you get heckled, doesn't matter. It made me stronger as an actor.
I would say so, definitely, because I'd imagine it's a tough crowd, and I just like, you're going to these meals. Quite literally.
Tough as fuck,
Tough and rough crowd. But to go in, and as Hannah said, being a female comedian as well, and to go in and make them laugh, and just shows you're very incredible at what you do.
I think I was overthinking it a lot as well. Like, I kind of dress masculine on stage anyway.
that's what I literally was about to say, that about being like, women have that thing where they go like, a lot of women don't wear skirts on stage because they go like, you need to almost come out with like a power stance and like be like, I deserve this space, and yes, you're there as a woman, but to be feminine in this masculine space, like, that's a bit too much, and blah blah blah. So I can't imagine what I would pick to wear to do Berlin.
I've always been a tomboy anyway, and I've not really been a pure girly girl anyway. But I think when I first started comedy, my only point of reference was Sarah Millican.
Yeah.
She always wears like dresses. And,
That was my really only point of reference, because all the everybody was a guy. And now that I'm in comedy, obviously there's thousands of amazing female comics, but at that time when I was thinking about it, it was she was the only person that was on Channel 4.
Yeah.
And I remember wearing dresses for the first couple of gigs, and I just felt so vulnerable, because what I was saying was I was vulnerable in what I was saying.
Aye.
So then, because I work in business, I decided to just dress how I would dress in my work.
Yeah.
And then it kind of
Suited and booted.
it kind of made me feel more authoritative, but now I'm more confident in my material. It doesn't, I'll just wear what I want now, because I feel more settled in my material. Whereas when I first started, I remember feeling vulnerable. But when I went into Berlin, it was literally jeans, a jumper, like collar neck.
Don't look at me. Don't perceive me.
It was so strange. But to be fair, they were really respectful, and the gigs were fine, but I think it was a testament to the boys that I was doing the gigs with, like Paddy and Mikey, and I love the guys to bits. And
It's Tattoo
they got
Dave
me
that
through.
organises it?
So Tattoo Dave.
He's got loads of tattoos.
I know,
by the
that's
way.
right.
Name Dave.
I know. I always just call him David. I feel like he's really awesome. So he set it up with Eddie McKenzie, who's just a jolly guy.
I
I
love
don't
him.
think I've...
He's like a big guy with a wee guitar.
Oh, yes, we have.
And
Yeah,
he speaks like Brian
Blessed.
Blessed.
Yeah.
He's just so jolly.
And he's got this really posh
I
accent.
thought...
He grew up in I feel like a stalker now.
No, but see, because I do all the socials and stuff like that, it feels like I'm stalking all these
thought he
comedians.
was, like English? Like,
He is. Well, I think, I don't know, he grew up in Inverness or something, and he's he's just a jolly guy.
Yeah, he is
I love
lovely.
him to bits.
Such a
He's
nice
just
guy.
a nice guy. And then so you get Tattoo Dave, who set it all up, Eddie McKenzie, Mikey Motion, who is a DJ by trade.
Yes.
He's like a hardcore DJ, and he's done like the Bergie Boy videos and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Is he
just-
is he the guy that wears the two Bergosses or something like that
Aye.
in these random TikToks?
So he's done all the videos, but he's a great comic. He's a really, I love that guy to bits. He's like a wee brother now, or maybe I'm a mad auntie. I don't know. He's just a nice guy. And then you've got Paddy Linton.
right.
So I
you
started,
worked with Paddy Linton?
yeah,
did you?
I worked with Paddy at the book club, Hillhead Book Club.
Oh,
So
that was
he's,
my
I
uni
think
job.
he's still there, is he not?
Is it? I don't know.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
still
he was,
chefing?
like,
I've
head-
not seen him in
I
ages.
think he was head chef. Yeah, he was head chef when I worked there.
Because he was...
But he was lovely. I automatically got on with him. Super nice.
Yeah, because it was like the Glasgow Comedy Festival launch. This is just me promoting Glasgow Comedy Festival. But it was one of the launches, and you guys like quite new to the comedy scene as I was, but I was working there and blah, blah, blah. And you were like, I know that guy. And I was like, what do you mean you know that guy? Like, I was like, I think he's a comic. And then you were up here, no, I think he's a chef I used to work with. And then I was like...
It took me a minute because I was like, I know him. And I was like, is it him? And then it was.
He's a chef by trade. Paddy's a brilliant guy, honestly.
Yeah,
Me,
he's
Paddy and
super
Mikey
nice as well,
started
he's so
together. So I feel as if I've got a wee bond with them. And then, who have I not mentioned? Jack Traynor. He was one of the crew as well. Just a funny guy. Just all of them were lovely. And I think I couldn't... Because we were all quite new as well, we were all in it together, and it just felt well organised, and it was a good laugh. It was crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, like everybody I knew were like, why are you doing this? Like, this is enough's enough, don't go in there. And I get hatred for it, I get a death threat and everything.
Oh, great.
Did
Amazing.
you?
Oh, aye.
Madness.
For going
Because
in
I think
it-
it brings up a whole bunch of things for people about being like, they shouldn't be getting
But I mean, and
comedy.
I see people's point, and I'm looking at it from different angles. And I used to do the children's panel, so I've done that for 13 years. But it's a judiciary system in Scotland. It's a volunteer role.
Yeah.
I studied politics and psychology at uni, and and as I said, I was going in there like a vigilante. I was going in there for different reasons, but I think because I see it from all different angles. But I mean, it was very, very telling how the guys were like almost getting high-fived, and
Yeah,
all
and
the
you were
hatred was
getting-
coming my way. But it's gave me material, so
You're like, but it's
So
like,
it's
as a
fine.
woman, you're supposed to be better.
I wasn't a feminist.
Mm-hmm.
But we went into women prisons as well.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's good.
And that was heartbreaking. That was more heartbreaking than the men's, because the men's, people are there for different reasons.
Yeah.
And ultimately society's broke down. They've committed a crime, fine. Obviously, this was people on good behaviour. It wasn't as if it was...
like general population.
Aye,
Because I think what people forget as well is that prison's meant to be a rehabilitation. Like, you want to, you know, they're in there for punishment, but, you know, ultimately the goal is that the people can hopefully go back into society and have learned from their mistakes. So it's...
Well, in prisons you get choirs, you get ballet, you get drama.
Because the arts are so important in that sort of thing.
Here, Deacon Blue used to do tours in prisons and stuff like that. Like,
so, like, why not comedy?
Actually, imagine you're in jail and then Deacon Blue turn up.
Sorry, no, I love Deacon Blue.
how dare you?
I'm showing my age now, but I fucking love that band. So, like, come on now.
Hannah's there like, no, give me the chair.
So done the gigs with the guys and it was great. And
Can I
can't
ask
remember where I got to.
what your favourite thing about doing comedy is?
You're like, oh fuck.
Put you on the spot there.
Being paid.
When you
No,
get paid.
I like to. It's freedom. I really. I think in a lot of aspects of my life, I've never been free in a way. I've always worked from a young age. I've kind of always done everything that I was meant to do. Like, I went to uni and. Yeah, you know, I'm from a humble background. I've grew up in the housing scheme, blah, blah, blah. And I've done everything that I should to try and have social mobility, to try and move on with my life. And I've kind of not been... I like the freedom of being creative and doing whatever you want. You can go on stage and be in control. And I really like that. And it sounds bizarre. I took up comedy to get over a fear of public speaking.
Well, this is what I was going to... That was my next thing was like, last I spoke to you, you were like, oh yeah, I did this for confidence. I did this for my job.
Aye.
So it was like your boss or something told you to go and do it?
Yes, so I worked for a soft drinks who won't be named. Won't give them the publicity.
Other soft drinks are available.
So basically I applied for a promotion and I didn't get it. The person who got it was like married to somebody on the board, so a bit of nepotism. And my feedback was that I needed more confidence presenting, which I did because I'm all right talking to people and I can tell stories in the pub and I can talk about stuff that's in my life, but to stand and talk about like the sales figures and that, because I was trying to remember a slide or remember stuff that's written down. I don't really like to write things down, although as much as I like to have a structure, try to remember a page fucks me up. I done a speech for my pal's wedding and I was trying to remember a page and it ended up, I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to talk about her and see, because I can't remember. I get quite anxious about what's on the page, what I've written. So it was right, I think, to like, I did need better skills presenting.
I mean, look at what you started.
I know it's his fault, like, he's not giving me feedback.
I know, and we're never going to give a man that much credit for kickstarting your career, but
it was more like a fuck you to him because
yeah, quite right.
It
Good
was
for you.
like, you don't have confidence, and then this charity gig came up for it was like, do a gig, 5-minute spot for, I think it was Cancer Research UK, and it was a charity close to my heart, and a lot of my pals were doing like marathons and all that, and I was like, nah, fuck that.
25 miles or something.
maybe 5 minutes.
I'm like, I'll just go and talk for 5 minutes, and then.
But you'd be surprised the amount of people that you could not pay to go and do talk on stage for 5 minutes.
I mean, I was shaking before I went on, and I didn't think I was going to do it, but I had my sponsors, so I didn't want to let people down. And then I went on and I loved it. Like, I got a first laugh and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Adrenaline rush.
This is great. And then I came off the stage and that was it. And then I met Mike Emotion, who's the prison, Pulse and Prison Blues. I met him in an ISIS store, just randomly.
I was like, a what?
And,
like,
and he's like, all right, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Do you want a gig? And I was like, oh, no, that was just for one time. Like, he's like, oh, well, I'm doing this gig. If you want a spot, it's yours. And I thought, aye, all right. So then that was committed to the next gig. And then after that gig, I get booked for another one. And then it kind of just snowballed. And then things started happening quite quickly. And I was like, oh, I quite like this. I mean, I still get scared. I still get, I think it's the fear of failure.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you're not scared, then that's
no
when
point
you
in
stop
doing
doing
it.
it.
But I think there's nothing worse. And I think, I mean, especially Glaswegians, like, nobody, like, people just tell you if you're shite.
Yeah.
No.
Like, that's family members and pals. Like, sit down.
So you've met my mother.
Like, sit down. And then, so I just love it. I don't know. I like the freedom of it, I would say. Because I can be anybody I want up there.
Yeah.
And it's the only place in my life that I feel in control.
And do you do a lot of,
Sounds
like,
bizarre.
we've obviously seen you at the comedy festival and stuff before. Do you talk a lot about like working class and your experiences
Never
and
do.
what it's like?
Because I had that working class showcase, I decided to delve into it a wee bit.
Yeah.
And I've got some good material from it, but I try and talk about what I think's funny.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't realise until you speak to other people that I've had quite an unusual life, and people are like, oh, this is quite funny, and I'm like, all right, well, this is what's happened, and I just talk about stuff in my life, and I try and structure it, and
It's write what you know type thing.
Aye. But I mean, it's opened up my eyes to loads of different things. Like, I never knew you could do this. And then, like, I try and challenge myself writing wise, so I try and write topical stuff like the breaking the news or whatever, and then now
Which
I'm trying
is
to,
hard. They're like punchy one-liners, like that's
well,
it.
I knew that I kind of am a storyteller, so I can tell stories, but I want to try and get a better writer to put structure into the jokes. So I challenge myself with stuff like that, and then now I genuinely want to write. Because I've got stuff that I want to say, but it's not suitable for stand-up, and it's not suitable coming for me. But it might.
Have
be
you
suitable
tried writing a play?
Right, so basically I'm writing a script, but I don't know where it's going. I don't know where it's for.
Aye.
And I've got lots of jokes that are more suitable coming out of somebody else, because I feel as if they say it takes years to find a voice, to find your persona, but I don't know, like, there's some stuff I've got and I'm like, oh, that'll be good for one of the guys.
Aye.
It's not gonna feel right coming into my mouth, but it's funny, there's a joke.
Aye.
But it sounds, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I just kind of, some of the stuff doesn't marry up with what direction I'm trying to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love writing. I think the freedom to just,
Yeah.
I think English was my best subject at school, because you
Yeah.
can just be whatever you want to be. So I like the freedom of comedy.
I know. Well, that's
Hope
it.
that's answered the question.
No,
and
it
I
has.
felt like
Yeah.
a politician.
No,
answer.
No, but Hannah's a writer as well, and
See,
you,
they gone,
Yeah.
the money,
I don't
the
know
party cash.
I don't know if you do that, where like I
It's
just
like writing as an escape almost.
Yeah.
aye, I
You
just
can
start.
create-
I don't know
yeah.
where it's going to go, and it might be rambly, monologue-y
Yeah.
shite. But then you go, oh, there's something in
Do
there.
you mean sad girls?
Rambly monologue shite. Aye, that's it. I mean, we've pushed it as far as we can. But like, do you just start?
I come
Like,
up with somewhat of a premise. I quite like writing from a setting. So I've written a play that's based on the subway.
All right.
So it's two characters that are on the subway, and I did it at each stop.
Oh, very
And
nice.
that was
Pub crawl.
Yeah, it's a sub crawl.
She had to like actually go and live the sub crawl to like get into the character.
We had to have an intervention at one
Yes,
point. She was drunk all the time.
But I do like I agree with you, because English was definitely my best subject at school as well, and it was like writing as a way of an escape and creating something, and you could put your characters. I always think a character you write's got a wee bit of you in it, so it's like putting a wee bit of you somewhere else in a different situation, adapting them slightly. So yeah, I heard that quite a lot.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, we are. Producer Paul's wanting us to wrap the fuck up.
Do you know what? I see every time you say that, it makes it sound like he's like a really evil man.
No, that's what I want
He's
everybody to
telling us.
think, that he's at the side of the
like,
stage going,
"Hannah,
come on.
But actually, he's a very
lovely.
sweet man.
He went and got his toilet paper. He's great.
Yay.
So we do a lovely little segment that I did warn you about, called Woman of the Week.
Oh, the
if-
leading lady.
Do you have one in your mind?
So I had two. Right.
Okay.
So,
Wait,
We also need.
whoa.
Hold the phone, Amanda. Hold the phone.
because I don't know if it's like meant to be like a well-known person.
No, it can be
Or not
whoever
be
you want.
anyone.
But
Whoever you want.
what we do, so usually where
I
you're
don't know the
sitting,
rules.
Amy is in that seat,
Right.
and Amy is a musical theatre girly.
Right.
And
So am I. Musical
I know.
theatre.
Well, so then you can sing the bloody theme tune this week.
Okay.
So usually what we do is we just throw a genre at her, and she sings a sort of jingle
Right, okay.
in the style of that genre. You are welcome to sing the jingle if you want, or you can throw it over to Emma.
I don't know the words, on you go.
Oh, it's just
You
women
just
of the
make
week.
it up pretty much. Would you like to name a genre of music?
Rap.
Oh,
You choose, I don't know.
Thank you, Amanda.
Hamilton rap. That'll be more your style.
What? Hamilton rap?
Hamilton.
No,
No.
I've never actually seen Hamilton.
Have you not? Oh, it's class.
No.
Sorry.
Paul can cut around you thinking. So
Okay.
It's fine.
Maybe we could make it entirely out of your thinking noises.
Should I maybe say like dance music or
I
something?
don't
know.
Okay, I'm not throwing away my shot. No, I'm not throwing away my shot. No, I'm not throwing away my shot. Amanda Hursey is really funny. She's going to tell us Women of the Week.
Oh,
Rap.
Emma. Wasn't your best.
We
but
can
we'll
cut
work on
that.
it.
To be fair, I am not Amy Clark, okay? Amy Clark is an entity of her own, and
I'm so sorry.
it's okay.
No, I love that you did that. That was great.
If anyone wants to hire me to do musical theatre,
I know you're like, I do musical theatre.
I'm really good at Hamilton.
I know you're
I'm
not
really good at writing songs.
You're not doing the Amdram Hamilton. No. The all white Hamilton.
Oh, the all white Hamilton, Jesus.
Okay, so it is Women of the Week. Amanda, who would you like to pick for your Women of the Week?
So, do you know what? There was a woman, which is great because that's what they're fucking
We just need it to be a woman, and that's it.
So there's a woman called Helena, and she's German. I don't know, my phone's earlier. Basically, no, it's
Do you know her personally?
No, because I had to, because I wasn't sure if you had to know the person. But basically, a lady called Helena who, it's like Make-A-Wish but for pensioners, right? So she's turned 100.
Oh, wow.
And during the Second World War, she got separated from her sister because of evacuation and all that. And she met up with her sister on the 22nd of September. So they made up to say their farewells. And her sister's called Barbara.
Oh.
And I found this information on goodnews.com.
Oh, very nice.
Because, sometimes you need a wee cheer.
That's wholesome as
That is
anything.
so
That's
wholesome.
so nice.
Basically, they paid for her flights and whatever to see her sister because they got separated when she was a teenager, and then they met up again when they were in their 50s, but life goes on. And so she met her sister when she was 100, and I think that's a nice wee story.
That's a lovely story.
I love
I
this. Like,
really
wow,
like that.
what a woman to be living until she's 100.
I know.
Yeah, go hard.
I love these stories where it's like, they're like, how did you live till you were 100?
Yeah.
And they're like, be
No
angry
men.
all the time. No men. Drink
fast and
constantly.
diabetes.
I'm like, fine, yes. Like, love that.
But I was going to mention my pal Tia Sorgione, I think her name is. I don't know. She's part of the Giggles Fig Legs. And
Oh, I should have mentioned that. We
that's
spoke
all right.
about the fucking boys for
But
ages.
she's from Finland, and she's split up with her partner for, I think they were together 7-8 years, so she's gone through a hard time. However, that woman has cycled on a bicycle from Finland to Manchester.
Oh.
She's got the fucking strength of
The thighs.
And
Aye.
she
She can't walk now.
so just like a wee reminder that she'll get through her hardship.
Why did she cycle? Just cause?
She's
Just
an
real
actor.
fear.
She wanted to?
I think it was just a personal challenge. Like,
Oh, wow.
she's
So it wasn't
very
like
fit.
sponsored for anything?
Not because that was my first question. I went,
Yeah,
who did you
did
raise
you
money
do?
for?
Yeah.
Nobody. I'm like, right.
Doing it for herself. Do you know what? Doing it for
Okay.
herself as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going through a hard time, just being like, no, I'm going to
Oh
do...
no, she cycled ages ago. Like, she cycled when she was happy, but
She's sad. She's just.
I know. It's just a bike
just to
now.
remind her that she's got the strength to cycle all the miles. So
Yeah.
she'll get through
Go you,
this
Tia.
hardship.
Also, before we end, Kirsty Lynch is in
Yes.
the Giggles
Yeah,
with you,
she
Girls
is,
That Giggles. I've not seen her comedy, but she's, from what I see online, she's lovely. And a big fan of Sad Girls Club is what I hear.
So she went to your show, I think, in March, because I had said, I've no bullshitting you, but I was like, oh, I really like this play, I'll take my niece, blah, blah, blah. And she was going to take her daughter, but she got tickets, and then I got a gig. So
It's fine, you'd seen it.
paid the money, so it's all good.
I couldn't go, but she went with her daughter.
Lovely.
And the other Giggles Fig Lesga person who I don't want to leave it is Yvonne Hughes, who is...
Yes.
She's an inspiring woman as well. She's got cystic fibrosis and she's done a show at the Fringe, and it's the only show that's ever made me laugh and cry.
Oh,
So,
perfect.
aye, there's a wee shout out to everybody. I
Oh,
know.
many women of the week.
Aye,
The
aye.
whole...
Oh, this is the hang back, because I feel as though people, I don't know, I'm not really good at like, I just don't want to miss somebody out and then it's a big scenario. Hoo-ha. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Get cancelled again.
Not that she was ever... Cut that ball.
Allegedly.
Legal minefield. Oh, you weren't here for that. No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
what I mean.
We
Cut
had Kevin Hodgson on. I've mentioned this in the last one as well, from Two Doors Down. And
who's he?
he's
I didn't know that Thingby was your mammy either.
Oh, yeah. No,
I
she
didn't
is.
know that till recently. That must be hard.
Yeah, no, she's a pain in my ass. So, yeah.
No, like a
Living with her.
like a brilliant actress and all that, but like that must be because you're acting. Like, does that,
Yeah,
is that
it's
hard 'cause
weird.
people constantly like compare you or whatever?
I
Sorry if that's too.
No. I recently had there was a comedian who will not be named who
As soon as this is out, we're
I know,
like,
but who?
I
And it
don't know
wasn't like
him.
the
I
rudest
don't
thing
even know
ever,
who
but
he
it was
is.
like, I met him, obviously, because of my job, I meet a lot of comedians, but I don't expect anybody to actually remember me or blah, blah, blah. And I changed my hair quite a lot. But I then met him again, and I could tell he was doing that thing where he was like trying to place my name, and I was like, that's fine, right? But he just took a punt in the dark and started calling me Emma, right?
Oh, yes.
And then everybody in my office thought it was very funny because he was just confidently going with Emma when he fully knew it wasn't Emma, but he was just going for it. And
Is
so-
that because I'm called Emma and I'm about? Or
no, I think he just picked a white girl name and went with it, right?
It was common in the 90s.
yes. To be fair, most of my friends are either Emma or Rachel, or also
the
called
amount
Hannah.
of the amount of fucking Hannahs that I know are ridiculous. Anyway, so I then saw him at the Fringe and I made a joke about it, right? And then he thought it was really funny to then be like, oh no, you know what it is? I was never sure whether you were Hannah C. Smith or not. And I think he thought he was being like genuinely really funny. But I was like, do you want to know how many times I've heard that? Like,
Yeah.
it's just everybody being like, because I've got a different
I
second
was
name.
excited that you might have had a connection to Morton Rolls.
Oh my god, she's heir to the roles.
Honestly, my dad, if he has shares in it, I swear to God, we'll make a fortune.
For me, like,
No, honestly, but I was just like, it was one of those things that I was like, how long have you been waiting to say that? But then also we're trying to be smart about it, and then it's also not funny. Like, just one of those things that I was like, all right, okay, so that's why you called me Emma? Like, I was like, I don't really understand. Anyway, but I think he just thought he was being smart, and I was like, fuck off. But just
Still
like,
laughing at Morton.
I don't.
sorry, I don't.
No, I don't look like her. I don't
like
sound
rolls.
like her. I love a Morton's rolls.
Preferably butter.
I know exactly. Thick butter. Anyway,
different tangents. You were talking about the boy for Two Doors Down. Who is he?
Oh no! So he's in Two Doors Down. He plays Gordon, who's like the boyfriend, the gay boyfriend.
Oh, right, aye.
Lovely guy. So he was on, and he kept, anytime we were saying anything that was vaguely controversial, he would just go, legal minefield. And it's we're like, should we just have this sound clipped like in every episode when we're going, in my opinion, and it's like legal minefield. I know. Anyway, so we're wrapping up, but before we wrap up, every time we have a guest on, we have to remind you that this is first and foremost a club. And so therefore, if you want to be in the Sad Girls Club, you have to now state why you are a sad girl and why you should be allowed in the Sad Girls Club.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll do a wee ritual and it'll be fine.
Oh, no.
We'll sacrifice a goat. And
That's what the candles are for.
Paul, bring in the
goat. Christ. What was the question? Why should I be sad?
But just like if you're
why should you be in our club?
yeah, why should we let you in?
Right, let me in, please, because I've no other pals.
They're all married now.
Legit. Everybody's settled in. It's hardship. I know. I should be in the club because I believe in what you're doing. I think it's cool, and I think that I can bring some cheeriness to the sadness, and I'm a good listener.
Yeah.
Very good. That's
so
what we need.
If you want to rant, I can listen and save it up and talk
Do
about it.
you like a wine? Do you like having a wine while you're listening?
Well, I'm trying to go sober, but sure, I'll have wine.
We'll get you some
Bent my elbow or twisted my arm, whatever.
Bent my elbow.
Show on them, and I'm MPs.
That's easy, isn't it? Bending your elbow.
Bend your elbow.
Twist my arm.
What do you think, girls? Should Amanda be allowed in
Yes.
the
Oh,
club?
thanks.
She was already
Scared.
kind of had her wee toe
Yeah,
in
you
the
were
door
pretty
anyway.
much
Yes.
like in already.
Oh, thanks. So I didn't even need to plead.
No, we just wanted you
do it
to. Amazing. Well, so that's been the Sad Girls Club with Amanda Hursey.
Do you have any social
Oh, yeah,
medias
but
you would
yes.
like to punt? Any shows coming up? Where can the people follow you?
Yeah, what gigs you got going on?
None.
I'm unemployed.
Don't follow me. No, I've got social media. I really should be better. That's one of my things I'm going to try and do next year is try and get on socials. I'm really bad at social media. I grew up with quite a large family, and it was always like winner stays on the computer, and I get beat, so I never got a shot. So what is my socials? I don't know. At Amanda Hursey is my social media.
On Instagram?
On Instagram. I've got Facebook, and I don't have anything else.
And that's
I think I was too late for Twitter.
Nah,
and
it's a
then
dumpster fire.
TikTok.
Don't.
Yeah.
Do you know, I went on TikTok and I had a video that went viral, and I had to delete the whole account because it scared me.
Amanda!
No, there was people like copying your voice and all that, and I didn't know that was part of the app at the time. And I was like, "That's my joke. Wait, this is my joke. Why are they taking it?" And I was really quite arsey about it. I was like, "No, that's my joke." And then, to be fair, it's a joke I would never tell now, and it got me into trouble. So I had to delete the whole account and start again. So I do have a TikTok, but I've got 2
Getting
videos
cancelled left, right, and
on
centre.
it.
Cut it out, Paul.
Again.
Cut it out.
I know, so
Cut
it's, I cut it out. So sorry, the question is, where can you find me on socials? At Amanda Hursey on Instagram and Facebook.
Lovely.
Where's my next gigs? Los Angeles, I'm gone there. So yes, come on. So I'm going to LA, but
To do some gigs?
I've got a couple of gigs, but it's not like I'm literally, it's not as if I'm paid to go
Yeah.
to LA. Basically, my wee sister's a scientist, and she works for a company. She's just like, she's going there to speak at some conference. It's got to be like the Big Bang Theory. I'm her +1, so I'm going on a free holiday.
And then might as well just do
and
some
I've
comedy
got
clubs.
a couple of 3-minute gigs.
Oh,
so I don't even know what I'm going to do. But it's 3 minutes.
Aye, they might not understand you as
Well,
well.
they will, because I'll tailor it to them.
Like, hey guys.
Hey, man. What's the crack with all the rollerbladers, man? I don't know. I won't be saying that.
You can do your joke about Starbucks now, so that's
Oh,
fine.
yeah,
they
they'll
know
get
that.
it.
They like Starbucks.
So that's exciting. But if you're in LA, do not say
I
hello.
love our understanding of American cultures. They like Starbucks.
They like Starbucks.
Aye. So basically, I don't know. I think I'm doing Manchester Festival. I'm doing Leicester Festival. I might do Glasgow. And I'm trying to do Edinburgh Festival next year, but it depends on funding. So
Tell me
I'll
about
apply to all the fundings. If I get money, I'll do it. If I don't get money, I'll save up and do it the following year when it's when the investment is worth the risk. Because I think in a year's time it'll be a better show. And so we'll wait and see. Who knows which round the corner? But that's where you can find me.
Amazing. Well, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming on. Thank you for now being part of the Sad Girls Club.
Yes, I've got pals.
Yeah. You can come out with us anytime.
Yes.
We are, follow us on Instagram at the Sad Girls Club 2025. Stop it. Stage.
2024.
Oh, 2024. Oh, no. It's because I've been doing all this stuff for Glasgow next year. So everything I'm hashtagging at the moment is like GICF 25. And I'm like, yeah, so it's 2025 right now. Like, I'm a year ahead. Anyway, so follow us on Instagram, find us on TikTok, watch us on YouTube. If
Please
you like,
sponsor us, Morton's
sponsor
Rolls.
us, Morton's Rolls. Can we
and
have a sponsor,
subscribe.
please?
I could get you a sponsor.
We would love a sponsor. That's actually what we really need, to be honest.
This is why I'm here.
Now on to business. If you like us, please rate us 5 stars. Tell your pals. Find your sad girls. Bring them to us. We want them. And okay, love you. Bye.
Love you, bye.